Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Happy Friday. I am wrapping up this day a little bit early for myself, shooting this video about a half hour before the close with the market down just a bit. Wrapping up the day, wrapping up the week, and wrapping up the month. And it's been an interesting day today. Now, like I said, the market's down just about 0.5% as I shoot this. And there were some pretty interesting things that happened today. First of all, we had PPI come in, and it came in a lot higher than expected. That means inflation is still this lingering specter. Now, that leads us to the other, even more interesting bit of news today. Trump nominated Powell's successor today, Kevin Warsh, who's been in and around the Federal Reserve and the banking system for, goodness gracious, a long time. A couple of stints serving as a member of the Federal Reserve Board, and worked on Wall Street with some of the major banks and such. Now, he's an interesting character for Trump to pick. First of all, he supports Fed independence, which is seemingly the opposite of what we would think Trump would want, but maybe that just makes him a better political pick. He also is very adamant about the Fed sticking to its original mandate, which is maximum employment and low inflation. Now, that's a little bit seemingly contrary to what's been going on with the whole Powell-Trump thing, where Powell wants to keep rates where they are and not lower them so that we can fight inflation. And Trump wants to lower rates so that he can reduce borrowing costs by the government. So somebody who wants full independence and wants to try and keep inflation low is seemingly a little bit different than what we might expect Trump to pick. Now, all that being said, what did the markets think? Well, bonds sold off just a little bit, not a lot, but that pushed interest rates higher, possibly indicating that maybe he is not going to be quite as dovish as one might think a Trump nominee might be. And on top of that, we saw gold and silver really get smacked, which is probably an indication that maybe rates won't go down that much and the dollar will not continue its slide lower versus gold. And so, I don't know, maybe that's it. But I'll tell you what, I mean, gold down about 10%, silver down a whole lot more than that. Silver's really getting clobbered. Let's look at a chart of silver here for a second here. These are the silver futures, whack down like 27%. Oh my goodness. I knew I should have sold those silver coins that I have yesterday. Notably, RSI whack. That's just because of the massive amount of downward strength here today. As we move forward into the weekend, traders are going to be digesting this more, and I suspect that gold and silver will likely make a rebound next week. Back to the chart of SPY. Let's get back to that really quick here. Now that one has been just sort of bouncing along the 50-day moving average. I mean, really just for months and months, for about a good half a year, really. Is there any indication that we could test the 50-day moving average? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if we test it, but I don't see any major catalysts that can lead to a market, a major market meltdown. But we do see some jitters in the AI sector. Again, just like I said yesterday, I said I wouldn't be surprised if there was an echo today of that. And that is exactly what we're getting. Despite the fact that AI stocks were higher earlier in the day, they're lower now, leading me to believe that investors are continuing to digest Microsoft's announcement about how much money they've been spending on AI and their weaker cloud business. So basically how AI might be affecting individual stocks. not to mention borrowing costs, but that's a whole bigger conversation. We've got Nvidia down, we've got Microsoft down, we've got Micron down, we've got Okta down. So we're getting a little bit of that follow through. Again, I could see that being a short-term blip on the radar that could take us a bit lower, but I don't necessarily see the bubble bursting just quite yet. That being said, have a great rest of your weekend. Trade smart, and I'll see you Monday.